Most people are right now out there and relaxing because it's Christmas. Yet here I am making this video. And why is that? It's because I am driven. I am driven towards my goals of making these videos, of going to the gym, of studying. And when you are driven, what that means is that you say no to everything else. Everything else. Because when you are driven towards a goal, you are focused on that goal so much that everything else becomes a distraction that you have to say no to. And so that I'm driven right now to make these videos and to go to the gym, which I did earlier today, and yesterday I studied, and so on. I'm driven, and what me being driven requires is that I say no to everything else. I have to say no to, my family. I am coming to Christmas this day. This Christmas, I won't be there. Sorry, just won't be there. I'll be working on my goals. When people invite you out, you say, no, I'm driven on my goals. I'm working towards my goals. I'm driven. And when you get all these invites and you get all these things that distract you and give you excuses, like Christmas. Christmas is a good excuse to relax, to sit at home and do nothing productive. It's a good excuse. But you have to say no to those things. And that is the number one skill to be driven. The number one skill to get ahead is to be able to say no to everything else except the one thing that you're really focused on and what that one goal you have is. Because when you're able to say no to everything else, you have literally 24 hours a day to focus on that one thing. But if you're not able to say no to anything else, then all of a sudden all the other distractions and temptations and all these things and excuses that other people give you will take away hours upon hours of time away from your day that you now cannot allocate towards working towards the actual goal that you want. And so you have to say no. That is the most important skill that you can develop. And it's like a muscle. The more you say no, the better you get at it. And the first time is really hard. The second time is still extremely hard. But then it gets easier and easier. And eventually it's just normal for you to say, you know what, no. No. I'm not coming. Sorry. I have things to do. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna just relax and watch TV. I got stuff to do. And when you're at that point, you're doing really well. And the ability to say no is one of the key factors in measuring how focused a person is on something and how determined and driven they are towards a goal. And when you are extremely driven and you're going towards your goals and dreams and all these things and you're super driven, people will start saying things like, oh, why don't you take a day off? But remember, when people start making these things, saying all these things to you, when they even mockingly, they might insult you, mock you, oh, why don't you just take a day off? Just remember that the reason why they say you have to take a day off is not because you actually have to take a day off. It's because you are reminding them of the hard work that they could also be doing. They see you working super hard and they're like, oh, I could be doing that. And that reminds them of their own laziness. It reminds them that they are lazy and not working hard like you are. And that makes them insecure. And they would feel a lot better if you just took a day off, because then they wouldn't see anyone working hard around them. And that's what all of these insults and comments that you were going to get when you are driven towards a goal. You're all gonna get, all these comments about take a day off and, oh, Mr. Big Man on the grind again. You're gonna get these insults and these mocking comments. And that's a part of it. And once again, you're just gonna have to be able to say no. They might want you to take a day off. They might want you to do XYZ. They might give you literal excuses to not work. Oh, you've been working so hard, you deserve a day off. And they're correct. You might deserve a day off. But, just say no. And you will be a lot better off. And that's one of the other things. You can agree with all the things that they say. The best way to silence people is simply to agree. When someone says, oh, Mr. Big Man on the grind working hard, just say, yeah. I'm Mr. Big Man on the grind, working hard, focusing on my goals instead of going home for Christmas. Yeah, that's me. What are they gonna say now? Literally nothing. And you don't have to be as extreme as I am and not go home for Christmas. You don't have to be as extreme, but what you have to understand is that if you want to go towards those goals and be so driven that people literally start thinking and considering you a dangerous opponent in this game of life where everything is a competition, they're gonna start thinking that you're extremely dangerous because you simply have the capability to say no. Because in the end, being driven comes down to just saying no to everything else. That's what being driven means. When you're driven towards a goal, you say no to everything else. That's literally what it is. And people will consider you extremely dangerous. And they will be like, oh, this is a dangerous player in the game that I have to compete against. This guy is willing to do so much more and willing to say no to so many more things than I am, and that's dangerous because that makes you a dangerous opponent. When you don't take days off, that is a huge competitive advantage when it comes to trying to get the career that you want, or trying to just go towards your goals, or getting in fantastic shape by going to the gym. When you're the guy who takes, I'm not gonna take a day off, I'm gonna say no to the distractions of social media and everything else. All of a sudden you become a lot more of a dangerous opponent in this realm where everything to some degree is competitive, because the career that you want, other people want. The physique that you want, other people want. And all these things, and you become a very dangerous player when you are simply able to say no to all of these things. And once again, when you say no to things and when you become this driven person who's simply driven towards your goals and your ambitions, that is gonna make you feel amazing, but it's gonna also get you insulted, and a lot of people are gonna mock you for it. And the reason why they mock you is because you are the type of person who's willing to do what they aren't. So, for example, when you go and approach, women, a lot of people might call you a player. Oh, this player, he just goes and, talks to so many women. But, in the real reason why they call you a player and they try to insult you and they try to, use that as a thing to make you not do it, it is because the very fact that you have the balls, literally, to go and approach women is reminding them of the person that they could be, but they're too scared to be. They don't have the balls to approach women, so they call you a player for doing it. They call you all kinds of names for doing things that they are not willing to do. When you're on the diet, trying to get in fantastic shape, and you're like, I'm not gonna come and eat out. They're gonna, you're so better than us, and Mr. Fitness. And all these things, they're gonna say all of these things to try to mock you and to try to take you away. But all of that stems from insecurity at the fact that they deep down know that you are doing the correct thing, that they are simply too scared to do. They're not willing to do what you are, and that makes you a dangerous opponent, and that makes you so driven towards your goals that you can outcompete anyone in this life. And that will truly make people consider you a dangerous opponent, because once again, it's competitive. So be driven, go out there, chase your dreams, stay disciplined, and have a fantastic day.